Welcome back. In the last class, with the help of a figure, we have discussed about distance and displacement. What was that figure? Yes, it was the picturization of a person's path. It tells you that the person goes to office through the road along the hospital, and he came back through the road near the ration depot. With the help of this figure, we have understood about distance and displacement. Is it clear to all? Then, what is distance? Yes, it is the total length covered by a body. Then, what about displacement? Yes, it is the shortest straight line distance between initial and final points. Do you remember? I gave an activity to you. Did you complete that? Okay, I will explain it. And our question is, find the distance and displacement covered by the person if he travelled from his home to office and back to home. This is the figure, and you know that the person goes to office through Hospital Road and return back through the road near ration depot. We have to find the total distance he covered. That means we have to find the distance he covered to reach the office and back to home. So, total distance equal to 600 plus 300 plus 660 plus 420. That is equal to 1980 meter. This is the total distance he covered on his entire journey. Shall we move to displacement? Displacement is the shortest straight line distance between initial and final position of body. Suppose if he travels from home to office, then home is considered as initial point and office is considered as final point. So the shortest straight line distance is 480 meter. So we can say the displacement from home to office equal to 480 meter. Now let's find out the total displacement. That is, he travels from home to office and then from office to home. Look at this carefully. Our initial point and final point are same. That is, where he starts his journey, there he reached. So, displacement equal to 0. So, we can say if initial and final point are same, then displacement equal to 0. Let's look at another question, and this question is on your textbook. A stone thrown vertically upwards travels to a height 6 meter and falls back to the hand. Let's picturize this. A stone from ground is thrown vertically upwards and it travels to a height of 6 meter. Then it came back to the hand. That is, the stone has reached the point where it starts. Based on it, let's try to complete the table. And our first question is, find the distance travelled by the stone when it reaches the topmost position. Topmost position means it travels up to this height. So, the distance travelled by the stone when it reaches the topmost position is 6 meter. Next is the displacement happened in this situation. Look at this figure. This is the initial point and this is the final point. The straight line distance between them is 6 meter. So the displacement at this time is 6 meter and same as the distance. Next is the total distance travelled by the stone when it reaches the ground. Just look at the entire path of stone. Initially, it moves up to a height of 6 meter. then it come back to the same position. That is 6 meter upwards and 6 meter downwards. So the total distance covered is 6 meter plus 6 meter, that is equal to 12 meter. And the last one is displacement in this situation. Look at this figure. The stone has finally reached the position where it gets started. That means the initial point and final point are same. So the displacement in that instant equal to 0. From the above question, it is clear that to specify distance, we need only magnitude. Magnitude means its numerical value, that is measurement. But for specifying displacement, along with magnitude, we need to specify direction. That is, distance with direction is displacement. But for distance, direction is not specified. Based on this, physical quantities can be classified into two: vector quantities and scalar quantities. First one is vector quantities. Quantities which need both magnitude and direction are vector quantities. And the next one is scalar quantity. Quantities which need only magnitude are called scalar quantity. Is distance a scalar quantity or a vector quantity? If you say someone travels 20 km from this point, we can't say the exact path. Maybe here, and maybe just around the circle. As direction is not specified, it is a scalar quantity. That is, distance is a scalar quantity. Coming to displacement, we know direction with distance is displacement. Here, 20 km is the distance, and along with it we specify north, that is direction. As direction is specified, displacement becomes a vector quantity. Let's conclude today's session. The more about scalar and vector quantity will be learned in our next class. Before that, work out all the problems which are related to distance and displacement. Thank you.